Just a minute. Shall I begin?
Sure.
Greetings to the Honorable International Court of Justice and the bench. The Council would like to seek permission to approach the dais.
Permission granted.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, assuming that you would have had a chance to go through the memorial, shall I begin with the brief facts?
Sure, Counsel.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. On 3rd March 2016, a man illegally entered Pakistan from across the Saravan border that it shares with Iran and was arrested by the Pakistani authorities in the counterintelligence operation from Mashakal in Balochistan province. Later identified as Officer 415582, Commander Kulbhushan Sudhir Jadhav, a serving officer of the Indian Navy, also a serving officer of RAW and a citizen of India under the alias of a Muslim name, that is Hussain Mubarak Patel. India conveniently claimed that Commander Jadhav had prematurely retired from his services in the Indian forces and had moved to establish his own business. But Commander Jadhav, in his confession, states that he is due to retire in the year 2022. If for the same convenience as India, we were to believe the press statements given by credible reputed sources and news outlets at both international and national level, it would be clearly established that those very close to Commander Jadhav, as close as family, would state that they did not know that Commander Jadhav had left the forces to establish his own business. On 25th of March 2016, the Foreign Secretary of Pakistan, upon completion of all the formalities, gave express notification of the arrest of Commander Jadhav to the Indian High Commissioner in Islamabad, as well as to the permanent 5 members of the UNO, that is China, Russia, France, United Kingdom, and the United States of America. On 25th March 2016, a video of Commander Jadhav voluntarily confessing in detail to his involvement in the facilitation and commission of acts of espionage, terrorism, and waging war in Pakistan at the command of India's RAW was made public for the world to see. Commander Jadhav made another statement prior to 10th April 2017, which is also made public, and he stated that he visited Karachi on 2 occasions in 2005 and 2006. He accepted his involvement in the Balochistan conflict, and it is also to be noted that he accepted his ties to various militant organizations in Pakistan, like the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, and a militant person, which is Haji Baloch. He is a wanted militant in Pakistan. He also accepted RAW's involvement in ties to Balochistan and Karachi attacks. It is also credibly believed that using the same passport, not once or twice, but Commander Jadhav travelled in and out of India 17 times, which is quite fishy to note. Commander Jadhav's confessional statement was then recorded before a magistrate under Section 164 of Pakistan's Code of Criminal Procedure, which was established in 1898, where the magistrate by law made sure that the statement was free from any coercion, threat or undue influence and was made in a sane state of mind. On 21st of September 2016, the trial of Commander Jadhav began before the Field General Court Martial in Pakistan due to the gravity of his offences charged. Commander Jadhav was provided with access to a representation by a qualified defending officer who was appointed to bring forth Commander Jadhav's defence before the Field General Court Martial. And further, Commander Jadhav was found guilty on several counts, including waging war. Amidst the many note verbals that India sent to Pakistan, it failed to recognize the purported arrested person as Commander Jadhav and just mentioned him as a purported arrested person. It was not until 10th of June 2016 that the purported arrested person was recognized as Commander Jadhav. In December 2017, a meeting took place between Commander Jadhav and his mother and wife in the highly guarded Foreign Ministry in Islamabad, Pakistan. Also, it is very important to be noted that India has refused to provide its assistance on Pakistan's request on mutual legal assistance on the genuinity of a passport recovered from Commander Jadhav under the Muslim alias of Hussain Mubarak Patel, and has also refused to comment on it, even after the passport was deemed genuine, true and authentic by a very credible source in the United Kingdom. Here the facts of the case, the brief facts of the case end. Now the Council would like to seek permission to begin with the questions presented.
Yeah, permission granted.
First question being, is Commander Jadhav to all intents and purposes Hussain Mubarak Patel? And if no, then how was he able to travel in and out of India using the same passport under the alias of Hussain Mubarak Patel, not once, not twice, but 17 times? And if yes, Commander Jadhav is indeed Hussain Mubarak Patel legally in the eyes of the Indian government, then why does India not refer to him as that? Also, second question being raised, is Pakistan violating the Vienna Convention on Consular Access 1963, Article 36? The third question being, is Pakistan violating the human rights or the rights of Commander Jadhav? The Council would now like to seek permission to begin with the arguments.
Sure, Constable.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. That on 23rd January 2017, Pakistan sent to India a mutual legal assistance request. The mutual legal assistance request required India to provide explanations on a range of issues relating to the ongoing investigation into Commander Jadav's unlawful activities in Pakistan, including that the possession of what appeared to be a very authentic Indian passport, but which did not bear his true name, which remains unresponded by India to this date. And if indeed the name Hussain Mubarak Patel is associated with Commander Jadav, and both are one and the same person, then why has India failed to mention that name in any notable or anything that it has ever submitted? Also, the convenience with which the name sounds surprisingly Muslim by descent seems very fishy and creates even more fishy behavior around this already conveniently south-inclining case. Also, if the passport is indeed fake and unreal, then why is it so authentic? And how and why has Commander Jadav been able to travel in and out of India using the same passport? Also, if Hussain Mubarak Patel is not the same person as Commander Jadav, then does such a person actually exist? And if they actually exist, does Commander Jadav have access to that person? How did he get access to that passport is what Pakistan wants to ask India. If indeed the passport was a falsified document using which Commander Jadav traveled in and out of India 17 times, then there is the resolution by the UN Security Council 1373 issued in 2001, which states that a state must have effective controls on issuance of the identity papers and travel documents. Moreover, states must ensure forged or falsified travel documents that are subject to robust action, given that they facilitate terrorist operations. It is thus clear that for a state to itself make provisions of travel documents facilitating terrorism, whether or not forged or falsified, would be a contravention of the UN Security Council Resolution 1373/2001, in addition to being a violation of the principle of Charter of the United Nations if they are a tool for illegal conduct. Indeed, it would seem highly likely that such conduct would constitute a threat to international peace and security, right here as in case of Pakistan. India's continued refusal to accede to Pakistan's requests for information concerning Commander Jadav's passport used in facilitation for his entry in Pakistan is a violation of the binding obligations of the public international law. That India's claim that Commander Jadav had prematurely retired from his services, whereas Commander Jadav's claim that he was due to retire in the year 2022, together make two very contradictory statements, which are at best unplanned and at worst horrendous threats to peace of Pakistan. Commander Jadav's acceptance to the fact that he was indeed involved in the Balochistan and Karachi terror attacks and the involvement of RAW in all the peace upsurging activities in Pakistan constitute two serious and heinous crimes on India's part. As guilty of these heinous crimes, including espionage, terrorism, waging war, Commander Jadav was tried under due procedure established by the Pakistan Army Act 1952, Section 2, Subsection 5, Section 47, Section 59, and Section 60, and in regard to the discretionary powers invested by the Field General Court Martial by the Constitution as well as the Pakistani Army Act. This also brings in question the shameful act of the Indian intelligence agencies and their involvement in Pakistan's internal affairs in a real bad faith. That Pakistan is not in violation of Article 36 of the Vienna Convention on Consular Relationships, as according to the Domestic Act of Ratification of International Treaties 2013 of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, it is specifically mentioned that states shall only apply and follow as laws the international treaties that have been ratified by it. But the concerned treaty here has only been signed and not ratified. Here I am mentioning to the Vienna Convention on Consular Relationships. The bottom line, according to the international law, being that the domestic law must permit a state to meet treaty obligations, which is not fulfilled here as barred by the Ratification of International Treaties Act 2013, Islamic Republic of Pakistan. That Pakistan is not violating the human rights of Commander Jadav, as it has been following the due procedure of law and has also given rights to Commander Jadav to assess a counsel advanced for him. Commander Jadav faced a fair and just trial to which he pleaded guilty. Pakistan had also arranged a meeting in December 2017 of Commander Jadav with his wife and mother. Most respectfully to the court, this is not the conduct of a country trying to distinguish or bar the rights of a person, let alone anyone that it considers an alien enemy, or the person who is trying to erupt peace of the country. Also, it is publicly available in the confession tapes of Commander Jadav that he is being seen at the peak of his health, and he is confessing to his guilty acts in a completely fine and sane state. Also bringing to light that till September 2017, when the allegations were placed on India, India was not a party to the first optional protocol to the ICCPR, recognizing the jurisdiction of the Human Rights Committee. It therefore is quite astonishing, ironical, and fishy that India is relying upon the decisions of the body which it doesn't even recognize the jurisdiction of. In addition, India is not a party to the second optional protocol of ICCPR towards the abolition of death penalty, that India, through its actions, has tried to interrupt peace in Pakistan in bad faith. Thus, India shall be held liable for the same actions as well as internationally and at national level, at India's own level, of course, and there should be an inquiry into this matter. Before this Honorable Court of Justice, for the reasons given, facts stated, and arguments advanced in this memorial, the Islamic Republic of Pakistan most respectfully requests and prays to the court to adjudge and declare that 1. India should not interfere in the domestic proceedings of the state of Pakistan and its fair trial of an alien enemy in the Pakistani territory. 2. The claims of India as advanced before the Honorable International Court of Justice are rejected. 3. The interference by Indian intelligence agencies is upsurging peace in Pakistan and is shunned upon by the court as well as on international level. So here, Your Lordship, Pakistan rests its case, and if the bench would have any questions, we shall be obliged to answer.
Sure, Council Person of Pakistan, or you'd like to have questions? Now, recently, the Chief Justice of Islamabad High Court has sought opinion on the court for New Delhi to appoint a legal representative expired on Tuesday.
Your Lordship, you're not audible. If you could just repeat the question.
Okay.
It just went static in between.
Yeah, sure. So recently, the Chief Justice of Islamabad High Court has sought opinion on the legal implications of appointing a lawyer for Kulbhushan Jadhav on its own, and it is stated that the second deadline by the court for New Delhi to appoint a legal representative expired on Tuesday. Even this news is published in Pakistan newspaper, and as we know earlier, when this matter was before ICJ, so India raised 4 objections in Kulbhushan Jadhav's case. Now, my question is whether the stay for Jadhav's execution ordered by Pakistan military court will continue or not.
Pakistan as a country respects the orders of the International Court of Justice, as the Court of Justice has stopped the order, has put a stay on the orders for execution of Kulbhushan Jadhav. That was granted by the Field General Court Martial. The court has stopped, and a further inquiry has begun. What for the Islamabad court asked the New Delhi court for opinions, and thus the stay shall continue till a fair trial is given, because Pakistan is not violating anything, nor internationally, nor for a person. Pakistan, being a peaceful country, wants to try a person as he is. We consider him an alien enemy. We have had charges on him on espionage, waging war, and terrorism, but he is still a human being, and thus shall be tried like one and shall be tried guilty like one if he is found so.
Okay, if it is so, then I do have a related question, and that is, by not informing Kulbhushan Jadhav without delay of his rights under Article 36, Paragraph 1b of Vienna Convention, the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, don't you think, breached the obligations under that provision?
Yes, Your Lordship. I like to tell that on 3rd March 2016 was Commander Kulbhushan Jadhav arrested with a passport with an alias of a Muslim named Hussein Mubarak Patel, and India was given the High Commissioner of India was given a notice on 25th March 2016. The in-between time was spent trying to figure out who he exactly is, either Kulbhushan Jadhav or Hussein Mubarak Patel, because till then he was just a person entering Pakistan illegally in the counter-intelligence operations.
Okay.
The time between 3rd March 2016 and 25th March 2016 is not a lot, and it can be seen as completely justified as time taken to identify who he exactly is.
But I still have a question here.
Indeed, Your Lordship.
Yeah. Pakistan deprived India of the right to communicate with and have access to Mr. Kulbhushan Jadhav, to visit him in detention and to arrange for his legal representative. Again, it's a breach of obligation under Article 36, Paragraph 1a.
Indeed, Your Lordship. Indeed, Your
Pakistan.
Lordship.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have cut you in between, Your Lordship.
No, no, it's
Much
okay.
apologies.
So don't you think, like, again, it's a breach of obligation?
No, Your Lordship, there has been no breach of obligation by Pakistan, because considering the 2008 bilateral treaty between India and Pakistan mentioned on page number 12 of the memorial, it is clearly stated that which states in the case of arrest, detention and sentence made on political and security grounds, each side may examine the case on its merits. Also, considering that Vienna Convention Article 36 does not apply in Pakistan as it has not been ratified due to the ratification of Treaties Act 2013 of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, no rights to India were breached. And considering the rights to Kulbhushan Sudhir Jadhav or Commander Jadhav, we can completely say that he was given right to a defending officer in Pakistan before he was tried to the Field General Court Martial. All the case that was tried in Pakistan for Kulbhushan Sudhir Jadhav was tried under the due procedure of law established by the domestic law of Pakistan. And considering the 2008 bilateral treaty, it would nullify the effect of telling India whether or not we had their person. But yet again, on 25th of March 2016, India was notified of each and everything, and their note verbals did not mention who was arrested. They just mentioned the purported arrested person in Balochistan. It was not until 10th of June that they mentioned the arrested person's name, which is Kulbhushan Jadhav, which we don't even know, ironically. It might be Hussain Mubarak Patel for all we know, as India has refused to answer that question and has chosen to keep shut.
Okay. If we talk about India, they asked for a convener council practicing in London to represent Mr. Jadhav. So, and recently on, when I was talking about, like, Tuesday was the last day, which was actually said by Pakistan to have legal representative. This is the recent news we came to know about from Pakistan. So Jadhav, actually we came to know, like, Mr. Jadhav has already issued a copy of last court order, and CJ asked to which, for suspending the proceeding till November 9. That shows, like, still he is not getting, justice and proper legal assistance. So what council person of Pakistan would like to say about it?
Your Lordship, considering that Pakistan has been nothing but empathetic towards a person who has, like, condemned guilty to his acts and his involvement and the involvement of Indian intelligence forces like the RAW, we have been very empathetic. We have had, if it was just a question of he's not getting justice, we would also bring in the question if he's getting his rights. Just to prove that Pakistan has been empathetic and nothing else to Commander Jadhav, we did a meeting with Commander Jadhav and his wife and mother in the foreign ministry in Pakistan, Islamabad. Also, he was given a defending officer when he was tried before the Field General Court Martial. And considering it is a domestic problem of Pakistan, which India just interfered into, considering the 2008 bilateral treaty, which states that state can try the case on its own merits, when there is the question of political question and there is a question for security, this should nullify the question completely, Your Lordship, most respectfully so.
Thank you so much, Council Person of Pakistan, for your patience on all your answers. Well,
it was an honor to plead before the bench.
Yeah, thank you once again. I've gone through your memorial. I really want to appreciate your effort. Only thing is that, like, recent development, like Indian newspaper, on Tuesday, not only India but Pakistan, they have published the recent development in this case law. That will actually help you in your next round. So I'll request you to just go through it, and if you're going to submit your new memorial,
Indeed, Your Lordship,
yeah, please add that stuff.
Just considering that on Tuesday it was 6th and 6th was our date for submitting the memorial,
Right.
I couldn't just go through the recent news so fast and just put it in between. I have to get all the information before I put something in, so I'm just really very sorry for not putting it in. I'll definitely put it in my memorial for the second round.
Right. So
From India's side.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to tell you. Like, this is recent development which you can add for your next round. It is certainly going to help you. Once again, I would like to appreciate your efforts, the points, valid points raised, because it's a bit difficult. This case is more in favor of India, but yes,